The CIA spin-off units deeply involved in the 2019 Hong Kong unrest are working under the surface towards a similar colour revolution attempt in Indonesia, leaked documents reveal. Here's a picture from the Hong Kong protest 2019 and here's a recent one from Indonesia. America's National Endowment for Democracy, set up in the 1980s as a cover for the CIA's overseas operations, is preparing to seize power in the 2024 Indonesian election, according to leaked documents revealed just a few hours ago by Mint Press News. The US wants a pro-American, anti-China leader in place in Indonesia, as it has in Japan, South Korea, and other nations. The strategy is for the US to unite Asia against China, and then they can launch a war, which everyone would blame on the victims. Now, despite the name, the NED is notoriously anti-democratic, financing whichever group will support the US and engaging in a level of political interference that will be considered, shocking, if not illegal, in its own country. The NED was also deeply involved in undercover activity in Malaysian elections last month and in Thailand elections earlier this year. These latest documents reveal that the NED has been financing and training pro-US Indonesians to infiltrate local political groups through financing by an NED unit called the International Republican Institute, or IRI. This is another one of those groups which also quietly distributed cash in Hong Kong for years. Now, one document shows how Institute representatives went to the US Embassy in Jakarta, where political officer Ted Meinhover conveyed US concerns about how Defense Minister Prabowo Subianto's electability had increased dramatically. In other words, the Indonesian public like him and may want him to be their leader. But in the eyes of the US, the Defense Minister has a huge black mark. He speaks the truth. The US recently sent out what it claimed was a joint declaration from America and Indonesia, painting China as the root of troubles in the region. The Defense Minister on Thursday last week humiliated the US by revealing the truth. The declaration was a US written statement with no input from Indonesia. The truth was that we are close friends with China. That's what he said. Now, these latest leaked files are basically communications dispatched from the Indonesian office of the IRI back to headquarters in Washington in recent months. They reveal the same strategy that was used in Hong Kong. The Americans set up or provide cash to groups which are painted as homegrown trade union confederations or labor rights campaigners, human rights. In reality, their job is to spread American ideology and demonize China. And of course, speak to the press as if they represent the people of the community, rather than folk on the other side of the planet. Now, journalists, and I'm including myself here, are very easy to fool. I was fooled by these people for many, many years. They carry names like, Federation, Confederation of Trade Unions, Human Rights NGO, but in reality, they are trained activist groups primed to hit the streets with protests at a given signal, known as the designated flashpoint. Now, here's what Kit Klarenberg, the investigative journalist who revealed the US interference, writes in Mint Press News today. From Washington's perspective, the importance of ensuring a pliant government is installed in Indonesia cannot be understated. With US military chiefs openly discussing war with China in the very near future, the region must be populated with client states that can aid and abet that world-threatening effort. Similar initiatives are undoubtedly underway across the entire Asia-Pacific. As such, it has never been more critical that NED's activities everywhere are scrutinized, if not outright banned. Now, they've been banned in Hong Kong, thank goodness. But will Mint Press's revelation change anything? Probably not. The problem is this: the mainstream press routinely downplays or covers up any mention of infiltration by groups related to NED or other US political interference bodies. Oh, they know about it, but they won't print it, or they'll just breezily dismiss it as irrelevant. And most media, including the news outlets in Asia, get their international news from groups like Reuters and AFP, groups which are unashamedly pro-Western. this is why it's very important for independent news sources, which are pro-truth, to get the word out. That's you and me. We are the media now. Peace.